up in the corner. Are we live?
Oh, no, it says this hangout is on air live. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There's an echo.
There's an echo.
Was it better? Is that better?
Well, it was echoing for me, but I don't hear you echoing. I'm not echoing anymore. I think we're okay.
I don't understand. I do the same thing every single time. Sometimes you
Well,
get.
you've done a great job. I don't think it's you. I think it's the system.
Yeah, maybe he'll give me extra points for that I figured out this system.
Do you get extra points for doing it every week?
I don't think so. Alrighty. So I don't know if Colby's going to join us or not. I didn't see anything that he wasn't, but sometimes a thing he runs right in and then he has to leave at a certain time. So
I'll shoot him a quick email.
there was a lot of information in these chapters.
I didn't even get a chance to read most of it.
So, alrighty, let's get started. Hey, has anybody taken the World Foundation class? We had to read Dante's Inferno and the Divine Comedies.
Are you taking that now?
Yeah, don't do it if you don't have to.
Is it bad?
It's just, oh my gosh, you have to read the Divine Comedies of Dante. I don't know if you've ever done it before in high school or whatever, but it's 3 books. And you have to do like a 3-page essay at the end, and it's all written kind of like a poem. It's awful. It's awful.
I know about Dante's Inferno. It talks about descending into hell and then coming back out.
Yeah, you go through hell, purgatory, and paradise. Like each book is separate. You have a hell book, a purgatory book, and then a paradise book.
Yep.
And you have to go through the whole thing. You know what I mean? And you have to read all the different cantos and stuff. And whew, it's painful. Almost as painful as tariffs.
Those are some pretty good reads. They're good books, but that's a lot of, a lot to really understand.
Yeah, yeah. And then to compare it to, moral truth and redemption, and I mean, it's actually, I really am enjoying the class. It's such an awful, awful read. So, okay. So number 1. The basic assumption in comparing the production possibilities curve of 2 nations is that those possibility curves reflect differences in
B, resource availability and technology capability.
That's what I had too.
The slopes of the production possibility curves for 2 nations reflect the relative prices of the resources in the 2 nations.
I had opportunity costs of production.
I was just looking in the place. Well, because that's in that first section, right?
Yeah.
International trade. But the 2 isolated. Is it under the 2 isolated nations?
Oh, you know what? Maybe is that different from just 2 nations if they're not isolated?
Well, it talked about the opportunity cost ratio, but not opportunity cost of production. But like where it shows the diagram, it says it shows the 2, and it says 2 production possibility curves show the combination of vegetables and beef that the U.S. and Mexico can produce domestically.
Right.
Oh, you know what? There's no prices on those though. So yeah, I guess because I saw that where it says the opportunity cost ratio in the United States, opportunity cost ratio in Mexico, and I thought, oh, that's I don't know.
Well, so if you look further in that same notation under figure 20.1,
Yeah.
it says, as reflected by the slope of VB in the left graph, the opportunity cost ratio in the U.S. is 1 vegetable to 1 beef. And then it says the production possibilities curve in the right has a steeper graph or steeper slope reflecting the different opportunity costs. So the difference in the opportunity cost ratios defines their comparative advantage.
Yeah.
And so that's where I kind of got that. So
That's my understanding too. I was with opportunity cost of production.
All right.
okay. Looks like Colby's not going to make it.
Oh, did he respond?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so 3, the ratio at which nations will exchange one product for another is known as the balance of trade.
Yep.
Okay. 4, in a two-nation world, comparative advantage in the production of a particular product means that one nation can produce, I had C, produce the product at a lower domestic opportunity cost than the other nation. I got that from 20.2. So let me see if I highlighted that.
It's opportunity cost as opposed to average cost?
I put the lower average cost. But
in the section on 20.2 under the heading comparative advantage, the second to last sentence in the second paragraph says a country is said to have a comparative advantage over other producers of a product if it can produce the product at a lower opportunity cost.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So
that's their comparative
advantage. I tried to find as many as I could in the book. Yeah, right there on page 445. What did you guys get for number 5? I started to get confused by which way the advantage goes.
I put that France. Germany can produce machines at a lower opportunity cost than France.
So is that true? Because the opportunity cost for one machine in Germany is 1 wine. But
well,
the
I
opportunity cost...
I was confused too. It was either that or neither country has a comparative advantage in producing wine.
Well, that was where I was leaning because Germany produces 1 wine for 1 machine, which is lower than France, because France produces 1 wine for 3 machines. So I think Germany might have a comparative advantage. Right? Because it only costs them 1 machine to produce wine, but it costs France 3 machines. So I think it might be B.
B
or what about Germany can produce machines at a lower opportunity cost than France? Only because it takes 3 machines for France and only 1 machine for Germany for 1 wine.
Well, but see, France can produce 1 machine for 1/3 of a wine. And in Germany, it costs a whole wine.
Okay.
So it costs Germany more to make a machine.
Okay. All right.
So they have a comparative advantage in producing wine?
I think they do because, again, when France makes a wine, it costs 3 machines. But when Germany makes a wine, it only costs 1 machine.
I got you. But isn't the question...
It's just which of those things is true.
Oh, that's okay. When I print it, it's on 2 different pages, so I have to go back to the other page to read the question.
Yeah, and all it says is that the table shows the output of what they can produce.
Yeah, I was thinking... I was looking at just wine, like which one was the... Yeah, that makes sense. B.
So we're saying Germany has a
Okay.
comparative advantage in producing wine?
I think they
Well,
do.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that one was really confusing for me.
Yep.
I'm gonna botch it on the test. All right. Number
I had A.
6, it's D. And I looked this one up again.
Oh, you know
Sorry,
what? It's
Mike.
because they didn't all go to the euro, right?
Well, yeah, they didn't establish a common fiscal policy. So on 20.6, it lists in almost in order all those other things, and it said they did do those first three, but it does not list the common fiscal policy.
Right.
And it's because they didn't, which is why uh, England can get out of it so quick.
Yeah, therefore
Well,
Brexit.
relatively quickly.
Right.
Yeah, okay, good. So
Globalization.
oh, go ahead.
Globalization of resource markets has resulted in the business practice of offshoring, which involves
I'd love to hear your all's answer on this one.
Both an outflow as well as an inflow of jobs in the U.S.
What did you have, Joan?
I had no possible expansion of jobs in the U.S. For me, for offshoring, they're taking jobs out of the U.S.
That's in
They
that same.
are, it's confusing because it didn't specifically say an inflow of jobs. It talked about complementary jobs becoming more necessary. So I went with D as well, Michael, just because I didn't think any of the other ones fit, but that one seemed to like kind of fit sideways.
Yeah. Well, because that it's in that offshoring jobs is in that same section, 20.6.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the very bottom,
Yeah.
and where in that very bottom is where it says offshoring also increases the demand for complementary jobs in the United States. That doesn't mean
Right.
it's. But now that we're talking
It
about it, that doesn't
confused me.
necessarily show an inflow of jobs, though. That's just new jobs being created.
Well,
But
that was why it was confusing to me.
it wouldn't be B though either, because there are certain things that are expanding, right? The complementary jobs expand.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it is an outflow, an outflow of jobs away from the U.S., but that word only makes me a little bit nervous because it's more than that. We get the complementary jobs.
Yeah, and it's not huge losses to consumers in the U.S. It doesn't say anything about that
Right.
anywhere.
Yeah, so I think it would be A or D, and I lean towards D.
Well, and the reason I did is because the A says only.
Right. I wish it said complementary instead of inflow of jobs.
Well, so maybe that's the crux right there. Is it's saying strictly inflow outflow.
Oh my gosh. I hate it when they do that.
So because I kind of thought about those too, but immediately when it said outflow, I was like, I don't think so. But
Right.
I don't know, Joan.
Yeah. Well, I was. I guess I was going with no possible expansion, but that's not true because that's too broad.
Right.
So well, I guess when it's talking about with the wording where it says globalization of resource markets has resulted in the business practice of offshoring, which involves only an outflow.
In that section, it says, in some instances, offshoring jobs may equate to importing competitiveness. But see, even that, it's hard for me to stretch that to inflow of jobs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first line is not only are some U.S. jobs lost because of international trade, but some are lost because of globalization of resource markets. And this is saying right here,
Right.
globalization of resource markets has resulted in the business practice of offshoring, which involves.
That would be only the outflow of jobs away from the U.S. You know what? Tell you what, I'll be the guinea pig, and I'm gonna put A because now that we're talking about it, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
All
Because
right. I
I
can't
did the
wait to
same.
see how.
I did the same thing. I looked at everything and then I went, "Oh, that makes more sense because it doesn't because of that when you get past that that last word section, and it
Yeah,
starts talking about the the,
the
the
effect.
complementary jobs. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
All right, we'll see what happens. All right, so should we go to number 8? For number 8, a trade deficit refers to a situation where
I
B,
had
a
the last.
nation's purchases. Oh yeah, exports are no, see, exports are less than imports. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
I
what
had.
the deficit is. Yeah.
So it's weird because it says their purchases from other nations are less than their sales to other nations, which isn't that the same as import? Oh, so it's sorry, it says less. Okay, I have to learn to read.
Exports are less
Okay,
than imports. That's how you get a trade deficit.
Right.
right. Yep,
And its
all good.
purchases from other nations are less than its sales to
Yeah,
other.
and I was thinking it said more than sales,
Yeah,
and so that's where I messed up. Okay, cool.
yeah. So on the homework, or not the homework, was it for this class? I was doing one of these equilibrium things, and it might have been in my accounting 202 class, but it didn't make any sense because I was like, oh yeah, equilibrium is right there, $3, right? Is that what you guys said?
That's what I have.
I did.
Okay.
Because it's defined as the intersection of the quantity demanded in country
And
A and the quantity supplied by country B, but
yes.
that's what we have there.
Okay. There was some problem that I got wrong multiple. Maybe it was last week's homework that was an equilibrium thing, and I couldn't figure out. I was like, "That's equilibrium right there," and I kept getting it wrong. So,
I think I missed that one too.
was it from the homework or the quiz last week or something?
I think it was the quiz.
Okay. Well, it's the one that made sense as being equilibrium, right? But that wasn't the right answer.
Right. I
Right.
hate when that happens.
All right.
Okay. Which of the following is a valid counter argument against using tariffs to protect high wages from cheap foreign labor?
Um, B.
The benefits of tariff policy will go to businesses, not workers.
Right. I had that same answer.
Okay.
A national resource abundant nation would be expected to export a land-intensive commodity such as.
I put meat.
I didn't
Because
answer
DVD
this.
players, chemicals, and tractors can all be manufactured in a plant facility, but in order to manufacture meat, you have to have land to
The
graze the
land to do it.
cattle, and et
Yeah.
cetera. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. 12, a tariff is a tax.
Tax. Yeah.
Yeah.
Import quotas. Import quotas on products will reduce the quantity of the imported products and increase the price to consumers.
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So on 14, from an economic perspective, studies of the costs of trade barriers show that they, I put D, far exceed their benefits for society. So the costs exceed the benefits. And that was in 20.6, kind of at the end of that section.
where it's talking about offshoring. Oh no, I'm sorry.
No, 20.6. Let me go over there.
20.6 is the one that's got the offshoring and stuff. It'd be up near the top where it's trade adjustment.
Maybe I marked the wrong one, the wrong page. Trade barriers.
Trade barriers show that they. Yeah, it's
I probably. Okay.
Yeah, trade barriers is talked about in 20.4.
Maybe that was where I was, because there was a, down in the bottom of the chapter thing, there was something about it. Okay. It is 20.4, and it says, conclusion, the gains that U.S. trade barriers create for protected industries and their workers come at the expense of much greater losses for the entire economy. So there's
Yep.
nothing that really says that here other than that the costs exceed the benefits.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Sorry, I was really trying to find everything in the chapters.
I give up sometimes, especially when I don't have a lot of time, and I just look at it and say what makes sense.
Right.
Um,
Okay. So for 15, I put A, $5 equals £1.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. 16, I put C, foreign exchange rates refer to the price of one nation's currency in terms of another nation's currency.
Yep.
Okay. So 17, if the US dollar appreciates relative to the British pound, then B, the pound will depreciate relative to the US dollar.
Yep.
That was from those videos.
Was from the
I
videos?
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched videos and they talked about that. But I'm
Oh.
sure it's in the chapter.
The videos are really, really helpful. It's just, everything is just so time consuming.
It is. For 18, I don't know for sure. I didn't find this exactly, but I thought it might be B. What did you guys put?
United States export, international tourism in the United States, and foreign capital inflow into the United States all give rise to a supply of foreign currency in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It just makes sense to me that if we're exporting, then they're paying for it, right? And if they're bringing their dollars, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be a supply of foreign currencies.
Yeah, it's not a depreciation of the dollar, and it's
No.
not a demand for foreign currency. It's not like we want foreign currency. You know what I mean? It's not like we have it here, but the supply will.
And they're not taking foreign currencies out, so it wouldn't decrease the foreign exchange reserves.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I was just trying to go with logic, and I wasn't really sure on that one, so we'll see what happens there. For
Is
19,
net transfers?
yeah, and I found that in the capital account balances.
Yeah. Oh, so is it capital account or net transfers?
Well, it's capital account, and so let me see if I can get there, because that was in section 21, right? Chapter 21. Under page 473, let's see.
Current account.
On, yeah, under current account, if you go down to the section balance on current account, oh wait, sorry, that's the other one about the workers. If you're the one on balance on goods.
So this is talking about debt, and the
Yeah.
current accounts is all about production of goods and services, right?
Well, it talks about debt forgiveness, and so right here under capital account, it says the capital account mainly measures debt forgiveness, which is an asset transaction because the person forgiving a debt essentially hands the IOU back to the borrower.
I see it. That was one that I guessed at.
Oh, that's okay. I had to look it up because I didn't know. I hadn't read that section yet.
Investment companies, net transfers. Which of the following shows the net difference between how much Americans forgave in debts and owed to them by foreigners?
So that's capital accounts on 20 then too, not net international transfers?
No, 20 is net international transfer. So if you go here, this one's confusing because if you, oh, hang on, because let's see, remit. Under balance on current account, it says item 9 shows net transfers, both public and private, between the U.S. and the rest of the world. Included here is foreign aid, pensions paid to U.S. citizens living abroad, and remittances by immigrants to relatives abroad. So that's under net transfers. It doesn't specifically say international, but it does say between the U.S. and the rest of the world, which is international.
And that's because there's not a debt or a good, right? They're just transferring those funds to family in Mexico. So that basically that part of our economy just disappears down to Mexico.
Yeah, because it's not revenue, it's not a sale, it's not
There's
debt,
no goods or services. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because I had net transfers and net international transfers on both of them, and I see the difference now.
Okay.
So, all right, I'll go ahead and go.
Yeah, let's just go back to 19 for a second, though, because it says, which of the following shows the net difference between how much Americans forgave in debts owed to them by foreigners compared to how much foreigners forgave debts owed?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, all right. So, capital account is how much we forgave the debt, but that has nothing to do with them forgiving our debt, I guess.
Well, it says the $6 billion listed in line 11 tells us that in 2012, foreigners forgave $6 billion more of the debt owed to them by Americans than what Americans forgave owed to them by foreigners. So line 11 in that balance sheet is balance on capital account.
So then 19 is capital accounts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out in a minute.
Yeah,
Like
I'm doing it right now.
I love these like good discussions that we have. I feel like I learn more in the 40 minutes we're online than I.
So on 7, we decided only an outflow of jobs instead of both an outflow.
I thought, yeah, I think you were going to go for A. I still think it might be both an outflow, but you said you were going to do A.
Yeah,
But you can do whatever you think you want.
Well, after the discussion, I changed what I had to A. So sometimes hearing other people talk about it makes me change my mind. So sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's not. We'll find out. Because sometimes I overthink it when I'm thinking about it, and sometimes I don't think about it enough.
Me too.
Oh, absolutely.
That's the worst part about the quizzes and the tests and stuff.
Yeah, because I notice when I take the home, when you do the homework and you can check it, I'm always between 2, and 50% of the time I'm like I get it wrong. Like I'm always like it's this one or this one, and I choose one, and it's.
You know what is the most frustrating part to me? It's when I'm overly confident and I answer something, and then I go, oh, maybe I'm not right, and I check it, so you only get 75%, and you were right.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Like, why did I check it? I knew it. The minute I saw it, I knew what the answer was, but I still checked it and lost 25%.
Yep, because I start to panic.
I should have checked a few on that last one, though.
All right, let's see what we got here. 85%?
What?
Hold on. So, number 3, it's terms of trade.
The ratio at which they will exchange. Okay.
So now you know. Number.
Question that one.
I don't think we did. I had D on that.
We all did.
Yeah.
What was the next one that we missed?
7. It is D.
Oh, wow.
Why? Why overthink it? All right.
I don't know. Darn it.
I do it all the time. 10. It's the wage rates in a nation are largely determined by productivity, not trade tariffs.
Well, that seems very logical.
Yep.
Now. Now it seems logical.
Right.
And that would be the 3. Did you get all 3 of them?
Yep.
Did you get them?
Thank you.
Selena?
Yes, Mike. I
Okay.
did. Thank you.
No problem.
sure I wrote them down.
I've got a pretty decent grade, so I don't mind if I'm the guinea pig and get the 85%. So
Yeah.
I think
I
I've
need 100.
yeah, no problem. I think I still have a B plus.
I'm just amazed that we were right about Germany having a comparative advantage in producing wine, because that one was hurting my brain.
Because of the last quiz, I slipped from a B plus down to a B.
Oh man.
Oh well.
Time for a mind map.
I gave up on the mind maps after week 7.
Yeah.
I don't think I did another one after week 7.
Oh my gosh.
I did mine
I
last week, and
do them I think I get them done every other week. I run out of time.
Okay. Well, thanks, you guys. Do you guys want to talk about anything else, or are we good for tonight?
I'm good. We've got one quiz left, right? One homework assignment,
Yep.
one mind map, and then the third exam, right?
Yep. When is the
That's
third
it.
exam due? Like, do we know what that is?
Yeah, it's the final day. I think is the 20th that you can.
Yeah, let me just navigate over there. I'm looking for that.
Oh, it's the 21st. Due July
It says,
21st.
July 22nd at 12:59 a.m. is what it shows on my. Oh no, that's the survey. The exam is 21st at 12:59, but you can start as early as July 9th. So I'm not
But
ready.
if you go into McGraw-Hill and you click on the exam, it has the due date as 7/20.
What day?
Oh wow.
7/20.
No. I'll better get it done on the 20th just to be sure.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing. It's so frustrating because like mine says due July 21st at 1:59 a.m. And I know before I got caught, it's local time. So Selena, for you, July 21st at 12:59.
Yeah, because I'm in Central Time. So you're Eastern?
Yeah, so that means you have to have it done at 12:59 in the morning on the 21st.
Right. So it's really due the 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine says 7/20 at 11:59 p.m.
Yeah, because you're in Western,
So
right?
No, I'm in
Eastern time.
Oh, but you're in McGraw-Hill looking, right?
I'm in McGraw-Hill, yeah.
Yeah, and we're both in
Oh,
Connect
yeah.
looking at it.
Yeah, the iLearn time matches up with Mountain Time. So whatever your time zone is, it'll convert that to whatever 11:59 Mountain is.
Yes.
So it really is due on the 20th.
Yeah, I got stung a couple of times for stuff.
Oh, I don't want to get stung for the map. And if you haven't sent in your integrity thing, make sure to send that. I had to send it for the last one.
Yeah, you have to send it every time.
Yeah, he sends it right back.
I'm not used to that. Last time my teacher sent all 3 exam codes back at the same time.
Oh, I don't think they're supposed to do that, but I've had them do that before too.
Yeah.
All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. It's been fun.
Yeah, you too.
Good fun. It has been fun. Good luck and thank you.
Yeah, good luck on the final and everything else with school and life and everything else, guys.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mike. Thanks,
All right,
Joan.
take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.